Um, with the man with the pool, I struggle with how to feel about him because it says that he had been sick there for 38 years. And I actually feel a sense of hopelessness with this man. That, like, perhaps in one season, he thought that there might be a chance that when the waters got stirred up, that he would be able to be put in the water and that he would be healed. But as time went on, that he gave up. And the reason why I say that I thought that there might be hopelessness because when Jesus told him to get up, he didn't know who Jesus was. He had been at the pool for 38 years. Where would he have met Jesus if he had been laying there for 38 years? To him, Jesus was a man who came and just told him to get up. So what's astounding for me is that when Jesus says, stand up, pick up your mat and walk, that man got up and picked up his mat and walked. That man had faith. In that moment, when he got up and started walking, he exhibited faith because he could have just continued to lay there and say, well, sir, I mean, I get all what you're saying, but I've been here 38 years. What make you think? Like, there could have been a whole conversation. He had more faith in Jesus not having sat at the Sermon of the Mount, not having witnessed his miracles prior to, than did the Pharisees who had witnessed Jesus doing all these different things, and then did the other Jewish people. So that's what I found I found really interesting about him. There was no hesitation. I think about that too when I think about God in my life, the things that he tells me to do, and I want to tell him, well, God, but I don't have no experience, but I don't have the faith for this man laying by the pool 38 years. So I actually struggle with him. I don't know what it must have been like for him to be there all those many years. And had he reached the point where he had started to give up hope that would it ever happen for him. But in Jesus healing him, his whole life then turned around because at that point he was poor. He wasn't able to have an occupation. When Jesus healed him, he could actually go now support himself. He could go begin a life. He probably wasn't, if he was married, his wife had moved on. He now could go on and live a life just like anybody else. So it's just interesting to me that this man who had been there all this time believed on just the word from a man that I don't even know if he really even knew who the man was. Because when they asked him who told him to walk, he said the man. He didn't say Jesus.
No, he said the man. You're right.
I just, like, when they tell you years and stuff, that's always interesting to me. Like, when they start to, like, 38 years is significant.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That's a person's lifetime.
Yeah.
That's older than Brother William.
Well, wait a minute.
Jesus let him know that he had authority. That he had a mind to do what he
Preach,
wanted
mother.
for
Y'all preaching in here.
For yourself, then you don't need to do it.
Yes.
He had to pick up and he could have not sit there. He could have said, well, the man picked me up. I'll put me in the pool. Like he said, if he said, you pick up your bed and walk. And that's authority.
Yeah,
Well, let me try.
I guess
Thank God.
I see it both ways because I think of situations that I've been in that it took God to speak the word to let me know I had given up. But I'm not a lazy person, but I know of areas in my life where it has been years and years that I've accepted something being a certain way, and it took God to speak a word. But I guess the thing is, I guess it's easy to look at the man and just say he got lazy and he gave up. But I know that there's also such a thing as hopelessness when you just don't even see no more that there is a way. And maybe Jesus was the one that opened his eyes to let him know, no, there's still a way. And I guess that's the whole thing. I think I would have thought him lazy if Jesus said get up and he didn't get up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If Jesus had spoken, said get up, because it did say that in Jesus' hometown, he could not heal because of their unbelief. So he could have spoke to this man, and that man still sat there and said, now I just told you that nobody will help me in the water. But the fact that the man believed Jesus, I just feel like I want to handle him different, because I don't know what hopelessness does to a person. That's all I'm saying. I just don't want to judge him and saying he just got lazy or he was waiting for somebody to put him in the water. Because what does hopelessness do to you? Like maybe year one, you really, really believed. And maybe year 15, you were still believing. But when it didn't work out, what does that do to you when you still waiting?
Okay, you saying right. You think you would have got up before that?
No. What I'm saying is maybe in year one he was trying. Maybe year two he
trying.
He gave up.
And all I'm saying, we each have a different perspective on it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we all have
because I feel like there are people who try, but what happens when you try and you keep getting knocked down?
You're right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
It takes God to speak to the heart to say, yo, you don't have to do that this way. I know for my own self, there are things that I've shared with Pastor Bernie and Pastor that I want to do that years ago it didn't occur to me to do. And I know I'm not a lazy person, and I know I'm not a person waiting for somebody to do nothing for me. But it took God, it took me reading the Bible, it took me waking up in the middle of the night and praying, seeking the Lord for him to show me, no, you can do it. You can't do it the way you were trying to do it, but there still is a way to get it done. And so now that he's showing me a different way, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm alive again. But for a long time, I was just accepting things being a certain way because I had tried it that way so many times that it didn't work. That I was just like, well, it ain't happening for me. So I'm gonna just accept it being like this. It wasn't like I was not doing nothing. But the way that I was trying to get to where I was going wasn't working, so I gave up. Like, okay, well, it just ain't gonna happen. So I'll just settle for, I'll just do it this way. And like, I just basically think we all have a pool.
Yeah, we all have.
And my pool may not be your pool, but there's an area in your life where you've given up on something.
That's true.
And you tried it so many times and it stopped working that you just like, oh, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're not, it ain't saying you lazy, but you stop in that area, you just consider that dead now. And it's easy to see it with him because he just laying there and it appears he's doing nothing. But we're busy, but there's a pool in your life that you've given up. And you just basically said, oh, it's over. You know, I've tried all this many years. It's over. And God will speak life to you. We got some pools. And God will open your eyes and be like, but did you try this? That's all I'm saying.
And that's good. Every one of us want.
Understand it, but I always said, and I said that in the beginning, we could be the same word and get different thoughts out the word.
Yeah.
I said that in the beginning.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
All right.
Guys. Oh, go ahead,
Maybe I'm taking it personal because I know I just been sitting on something for 23 years. I'm like, don't be talking about him like that. Don't be saying that. I'm taking it personal. I done put myself next to the pool. I'm like, I got a few dead situations and I know I ain't lazy. I done personalized this word. Don't be talking about Bethesda pool man.
I think you took it the wrong heart, but it's all right.
I didn't take it the wrong heart. I wasn't even on what you were saying. I just think I looked at the word a different way. That's all.
And it's good. All of us have. See that? Every one of us have an opinion. Everyone else have. All of us don't think alike. All of us don't do this like that. We have to